Hello, my dear young children, welcome to digital lessons. Today we are going to discuss a small topic on electricity. Children, do you work comfortably in daytime, but the same work you cannot do during night time? What is the reason? Yes, night time we will not have any light, therefore, we cannot perform any activities. Now, if you want to study in night time, what will you do? Yes, you will use light sources. Now, you will switch on tube light or any fluorescent lamps in your house. Otherwise, if electricity goes off, what will you do? Yes, you will use candles or lamps. Now, during these days, we are getting recharge phones and recharge lights. We will use them. Now, we will see here a small incidents when two children are studying at their home. Now, children, do you see brother and sister both are studying very nicely comfortably under light. Now, what happens if suddenly power goes off? Just see, now became dark, now no electricity. Now, what source will you use for to get power? Yes, you will go for searching torchlight at your house. Do you know how to insert batteries in torchlight? Yes, now you see a beautiful torchlight here. If you want to work with this torchlight, what will you do? Yes, you will first insert batteries into the torch. Next, is the torchlight working properly? If you want to test it, there will be three indications. First, whether you inserted cells or batteries in correct position. Yes, positive terminal should touch the negative terminal of the other battery or cell. Even though if it is not working, then you will go for switch, whether switch is turned on or off. Even though your cell of the torchlight is not working, then you go for testing the bulb, whether the bulb is fused or diffused. Now, you see the three conditions, you check with these questions now. Do you know how to insert batteries in a torch? Yes, if you are perfect in this, you can lit the torchlight very easily. Next, can you make out whether the switch of the torch is working properly? Next, you will go for testing the switch. Next, you have to test the bulb is fused or diffused. Now, if torchlight is working properly or not, you will go for testing three reasons. The first one is whether you inserted the batteries in correct place, in correct position. Next, you will go for testing the switch, whether it is on or off or it is working properly. Next, you will go for bulb, testing the bulb, whether it is fused or diffused. Now, if you are okay with these three, then definitely your torchlight will work. All these you learnt in your 6th class. Now, what will you study in your 7th class? Why this bulb is glowing? The bulb is glowing due to power in it. Where does this power comes from? Power comes from electricity department. Where this power? Hydel power energy, thermal power stations and also from nuclear power stations. By using windmills also you can generate electricity. Now, cheapest source of electricity is hydel power stations. By using water we can generate electricity, that electricity it is transmitted into our homes. But in olden days, how the first battery was constructed? The first battery was constructed by using simple experiment. That experiment you can also make a battery at your home. Now, will you go for the experiment? Just see here. Now, making out our own cell. How do you make our own cell? Just now you see the what are the materials required to make our own cell. Now, here you are seeing a small picture. What do you observe in this picture? Yes, these are bottles, injection bottles which we get from hospitals and also small wires and also LED bulb is here and also there are some wires connecting it. Now, how do make our own cell with this? For this we require 2 injection bottles, 1 zinc strip, 1 copper strip and dilute H2SO4 solution and LED and also some connecting wires. Now, you see, now first you have to take 3 injection bottles or 2 injection bottles, and what you have to do here, you have to cut the 2 mm of 3 centimeters long thick copper wire out of it, and afterwards you have to take a zinc strip. How do you prepare zinc strip on your own? Now, you can use a discharge cell for this purpose. By using discharge cell which is thrown out, you have to cut a piece out of it, which should be of 2 mm and 3 centimeters long. It is nothing but the outer covering of a discharged dry cell, by which you can make the zinc metal and zinc wire. Now, from this you have to take like this. Here you can see in this picture, this is the zinc metal and this is the copper wire. Now, how we are inserting into the bottle? Now, first what we have to do, take one bottle and remove its outer lid, which is of rubber cap, and make 2 holes to it. In one hole you put a copper strip, in another hole you insert a zinc strip. Now, next you take another bottle too, in that also same you take insert one copper wire in one hole and insert zinc wire in another hole. Now, take a connecting wire and make these connections very effectively and thoroughly. Now, one end of the wire is connected to the zinc strip, another end is connected to the copper wire of the next bottle. Next, you take from another bottle the copper wire to LED and connect from this zinc. A wire is connected to the LED. Now, before closing these bottles, you fill them with dilute sulfuric acid. Now, whenever you fill this dilute sulfuric acid, you have to ensure that the 2 connecting wires in the bottles, that is copper wire and zinc wire, should not connect each other inside the bottle. Then only you made a perfect arrangement for making your own cell. By making this arrangement, your cell is ready and it is going to deliver electricity for you. Instead of dilute H2SO4, think what other acids you can use in this cell. You can use our lemon juice also and also tamarind juice also to get effective electricity. You will get small LED will glow for this. Now, look at the procedure, what steps we followed. We have taken a wire and connected the zinc strip of one other bottle with copper strip of another bottle. Now, fill the bottles with sulfuric acid, insert the copper strip and zinc strip separately into the rubber caps of injection bottles. Now, in this process you have to ensure that copper strip and zinc strip do not touch each other in the bottle. Now, carefully close the bottles with the caps and copper wires and zinc strips should be inserted. Now, your cell is ready. Now, while connecting the wires, you have to be careful that one end of the LED should be connected to the copper wire of one bottle. To the another bottle, you should connect the LED to the zinc strip. Then only you made a perfect apparatus for this. You have seen all these parts about cell and how to make our own cell. Now, we have seen a liquid cell and also dry cell. Now, let us see the working of a liquid cell, how we can make our own cell very easily in the form of a small video. Now, let us see it. Now, there are 2 injection bottles with us. Now, we have taken a copper wire and we have made it into 2 parts and we cut the edges of copper wire and we have taken a dry cell. In dry cell, we have made outer coverage and we extracted zinc metal out of it. Now, we got copper strips as well as zinc strip. Now, we inserted copper strips and zinc strips into the bottles. Now, one bottle copper strip is attached to zinc plate of another bottle. Now, we filled with dilute sulfuric acid. In this way, we made our own cell. Do all cells contains liquid in them? Now, just now we prepared a cell by using liquid. It may be dilute H2SO4, it may be lemon juice, but is it easy for carry? No, we cannot take it for longer places. Therefore, these cells are replaced with dry cells. Now, let us find out what the batteries in our torches contain. They are nothing but dry cells. They does not contain any liquid in them. Then what is there in the dry cells? Now, let us see what is there in dry cell. Now, you see what are the parts, how many parts are there in dry cell, what is the inner structure of the dry cell, and how many terminals are there in dry cell. You can notice here a one dry cell, here two terminals are there, one bud like portion you are seeing, this is the positive terminal, it is bulged above. Now, down you can see the negative terminal of the battery, usually it is made up of zinc metal. Now, what are the other parts? Now, let us peep into the dry cell, what are there. Now, if you break open dry cell in the presence of your teacher, do not do it on your own. Now, you see first you have to remove, in olden days we used to have a paper outer cover in dry cells, but nowadays it is replaced with a metal. That metal is nothing but a zinc strip. Now, that zinc strip we have to remove. After removing zinc strip, immediately you will find an yellow color solid, that is nothing but ammonium chloride paste. Now, after that, if you again after removing ammonium chloride, if you see, you can see small carbon particles inside. Now, you can also see here in the cell small carbon particles, it is nothing but powder of carbon which will be black in color. After that, it is covered with one rod, it is nothing but carbon rod, usually made up of graphite. To this there is a one metal cap, it may be of any metal. Now, this metal cap serves as a positive terminal, and this zinc metal which is used as outer layer serves as a negative terminal. Usually it is coated with paint outside, but downwards you can see zinc plate very easily. Now, that will be served as a negative terminal. Now, you can seal the outer covering, that is the internal structure of the cell. Now, you see a dry cell consists of a container made up of a zinc metal, just now only we discussed. Now, the container also serves as a negative terminal. You can also find out very easily what is the outer cover of the dry cell. It is nothing but zinc metal, it serves for the purpose of negative terminal. What is there inside? Inside there is a black graphite rod which is made up of carbon, it acts as a positive terminal. Now, next what do we see inside the dry cell? Inside the dry cell we will see a carbon rod surrounded by mixture of carbon particles and chemical called ammonium chloride. When now, between ammonium chloride and this carbon particles there will be a chemical reaction, that reaction supplies us electricity. How long does the dry cell supply electricity? This electricity will be supplied continuously? No, for some time only. After that the cell will be discharged, because there will be the chemical reaction between ammonium chloride and carbon particles inside. Whenever this chemical exhaust, the cell also stops and there will not be any chemical reaction. Therefore, we will not get any electricity out of it. Now, we will call that cell is discharged. Now, have you seen a circuit diagram? Now, we will have small introduction about this circuit diagram. Always whenever we want to connect these wires to a bulb and we require a battery for it, always what will you do? We will connect wires first to the battery or cell, first to the at positive terminal of the cell, another wire is connected to the negative terminal of the cell. After that, these wires we will attach it to a switch, and from switch we will connect them to the bulb. Now, whenever we on the switch, the bulb will glow. Whenever we off the switch, bulb does not glow. Description it is very difficult, but when you see in the form of a diagram, it will be very easy. Now, how simple circuit is made? A simple circuit is made by using small items. Those are nothing but source of electric current. What will be the source of electric current? Naturally, it will be the battery. Next, a key. Here key serves for the purpose of switch. When we close it, now this metal touches with this metal and connection will be there. Now, it is switch in on position. When it is taken up, it is in off position. It is now here key works for the purpose of switch. Next, a conducting wire. Next, electric bulb. All these 4 items, what are the 4 items? One is source of electricity, that is bulb, another one is connecting wire, another one is electric bulb, and also we require a switch. Now, a circuit diagram will be like this. Now, always it is difficult to draw the batteries, cells and switch like this and glowing bulb. Unless and until if we are a good artist, we cannot draw these cells and switches like this. Now, is there any other easy way to draw these circuit diagrams? Yes, like mathematics we use equal to greater than signs, no? Like this in physics also we have small symbols for these bulbs and batteries and also for switch and bulb. Now, first before learning this circuit diagram, we will go for the what are the components in circuit diagram and they are represented symbolically. Now, let us see some common electric components can be represented by some standard symbols. What are those symbols? These symbols made us very easy to draw the diagrams of circuits very easily, where it is connected and all connections we can draw very easily. Now, let us see what are the electric components and their symbols. First, we will go for cell. Now, normal cell will be look like this. Now, how we will draw the cell? Like this, it will be the symbol of cell. Here one is longer line, vertical line, it is called positive terminal. Another one small vertical line, it is the negative terminal. Always this negative terminal is represented with a smaller vertical line. Positive terminal is represented with longer vertical line. Horizontally, if you also look, this negative terminal is somewhat thicker than positive terminal. Now, see the longer vertical line denotes the positive terminal and the thicker shorter line denotes the negative terminal. Now, children, do you know the symbol of cell, how it is represented? Next, we will see bulb. Now, bulb will be look like this. Always it is difficult to draw the bulb, but it is very easy to draw its symbol. Let us see what is the symbol. Here we are putting a spring like structure and one circle. It is the symbol of bulb. Now, electric bulb is in off position. Now, how the electric bulb will be in its on position? Now, let us see. It will be glowing. Now, how we will represent symbolically? A bulb here also glowing like sun rays, you can quote here. Now, this is the electric bulb in on position. Now, next switch in on position. Normally at our home, switch will be in on position whenever the upper head of the switch is upside, but it is very difficult to draw, but it is very easy to represent diagrammatically. Now, see the symbol of switch. Now, here switch is in on position, that means here there is no gap between these 2 points. These points are A point and B point, there is no gap, that means the switch is in on position. Now, switch is a device used to open or close circuit. Now, it is a closed circuit. Now, let us see switch in off position. Now, let us see switch is in off position. Now, here the switch is in off position. How it will be symbolically? Now, here there will be no connection between A and B terminals. This is nothing but switch off position symbolically. Now, switch is also called as key in electrical components. Now, let us see battery. It is nothing but cells. Two or more cells joined together, we will call them as a battery. Now, look at the battery, how we will represent symbolically. We are joining two cells. Children, do you know the symbol for cell? One longer line which represents the positive terminal, one short line which represents the negative terminal. Here we will draw both at a time. Let us see. Positive terminal is attached to negative terminal. Positive terminal is attached to negative terminal. This means here you should not confuse. This is nothing but one cell. This is nothing but another cell. Now, what is the purpose of cell? Now, here we can increase the electricity by joining two cells. Now, two or more cells joined together forms a battery. Now, one cell if you take, we will call it as a cell. If we join two or more cells together, we will call them a battery. Now, torchlight also we often call them as battery. Why? Because we use more than one cell. You should not confuse here. Battery is nothing but joining of two or more cells together. It may be 3, it may be 4 or 5. Now, let us see fuse. Now, always it is difficult to draw fuse. Here you can also observe the connecting wires. Here fuse is in on position. Now, you can see the symbol of fuse. It is nothing but small cross line vertically. And what is the purpose of fuse? It is used as a safety device. Even if suddenly high voltage comes in your house, what happens to the electrical appliances? They will destroy, they will burn. But if you have a fuse in your main, the fuse only will melt and all your electrical appliances will be safer. It is nothing but fuse. Now, let us see the circuit diagram. A circuit diagram is nothing but a closed path through which electric current flow. What is the necessary condition here? It must have source of electric current, otherwise it will not work. A circuit should be a closed continuous path. It should not be open or break, otherwise it will not work. Now, you see, I have drawn a simple circuit for you. It consists of a bulb. Why bulb is glowing? Because here switch is closed, it is not open. Now, where is the cell? Here is the cell. What is the positive terminal? Here the positive terminal is attached to the wire. This wire is attached to the bulb. This wire is in turn attached with switch. This wire is attached to the another end of the switch. It is attached to the negative terminal of the battery. This we can show very easily by our diagrams. It is nothing but electric circuit. Now, you see, observe the sequence of in which the cell, the bulb switch are connected in the circuit. Just now we have seen that sequence only I have given here. Now, you see, positive terminal of the cell attached to the wire, wire is in turn attached to switch, switch is in turn other end of the switch is attached to wire, this wire is attached to the bulb and bulb is again attached to the wire, that wire is attached to the negative terminal of the cell. Then only our circuit is a closed circuit and our bulb will glow. This is about simple circuit diagrams. Dear children, in the next session we will learn about the how to connecting these wires. Now, before ending of this session, we will see what we have learnt in this session. In this session, we have learnt about the preparation of our own cell and what are the parts in dry cell and also what are the simple components of electrical components and their symbols, how we can make a circuit diagram by using these simple electric components and their symbols. Now, let us see small work for you as assignment for in today's class. Explain the process of making your own cell. You can make it with the help of diagram and you can explain it very nicely. Now, draw the neat label diagram of a dry cell and mention its parts, and what are the parts in dry cell we have observed that you have to mention. Draw in your notebook the symbols to represent the following components of electric circuits. Those are nothing but switch in off position, bulb, cell, switch in on position and battery. These diagrams symbolically you have to write and show to your teachers. Next, differentiate between open circuit and closed circuit. Difference is very simple. In open circuit, we will not see any passage of electricity. In closed circuit, there will be passage of electricity and bulb will glow. This you can show with the help of neat diagrams, circuit diagrams you can draw. Now, which device converts chemical energy into electrical energy? Match the following. You take time for your noting down. And electric cell, what is the symbol of electric cell? You can identify in column 2. Electric bulb, what is the symbol of electric bulb? What is the symbol of battery? What is the symbol of switch? Today we have learnt about the electricity, and in the next class we will see how we can make series and parallel connections by using bulbs and cells. Thank you.